All right. I am guesstimating that I am live now. Is there anybody out there? Anyone? 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 Two thumbs up. Holy shit. God, two people and two thumbs up. I can cry. Anybody out there? Anyone? Kathy? Hey, how you doing? Kind of waiting for people to get here. This is a bad time to be running a live show, as I found out last week. You know, you do it like midday on a Saturday, man, a couple people show up. There it is. But I was in part doing this live show to let you know that my live show will be Tuesday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern time. Every night. Not every night, every Tuesday night, but every week. Think you pay me? Yeah, I love being here. Well, I do and I don't. I mean, live. It's not scripted or anything like that. It's all got to be ad lib. I get a bunch of differing questions, so sometimes a little hard to deal with live. Just letting people arrive, getting the show started, saying hello to folks. If anybody wants to me to call them in the second part of the call-in show, drop your number. Send your name and number to this address right here in chat. Oh, come on, man. Work with me. In chat. There you go. So, if you would like for me to call you and be on the show at call-in time, send your name and your number to that address right there. And I will get to you as soon as we get to that part. Okay. I kind of wanted to begin a little bit here with this. At the Delphi briefing, a car was mentioned. Where the car was parked. They knew that. They knew that at some time going back. This didn't just happen. Okay? So they mentioned that car 2 years after the fact. Like somebody's going to be, you know what? I was going down that road on the 13th. I do remember that car in the. They know better. They know better than that. They knew that this was absolutely the wrong time to release that. Right at the go, there was a car parked here. Does anybody know the make, the model, anything of that car that was parked there? Bam. Then they would have had something. They would have had something. Wait 2 years later, maybe there was a car parked there. I don't know. Yeah, maybe there was. I think it was the cop. I don't remember. They're not going to know. Nobody's going to know. So, I mean, that really gets under my skin, man. The way that law enforcement is running this case, like, they don't even want to catch the guy. Like, we're clueless. We don't know what we're doing. We've never done this before, this law enforcement thing. No, I didn't, because I knew it would be crap, Matt. Whenever they're just talking like that, I mean, I would watch it if it related to anything, but it was like the briefing. When that briefing came about, okay, I knew they wasn't announcing a suspect. But when I watched it, I was really aggravated with the direction that they went, knowing who had did it. You know? I'm like, oh, this is really messed up. Man, why do you wait till now? Why do you wait till now to release that? Did you want foggy information that you couldn't, count on? Is that the way you're playing at law enforcement? Right off the go, right after the go of this crime, the time to release that video was then. Not the pictures, the video without audio. Right then. That could have helped nail it. Mention where the car was parked. You knew that. Why didn't you mention it then when somebody could have related that information to you? Did that hurt the case? I mean, could the defendant go, well, you mentioned the car was parked there. I mean, I kind of walked now. No. They're playing this in very BS style. I want to point that out. Anybody that does not agree with me, I don't know where you're at logically. I don't know on what side of the paradigm of an IQ you're talking from. But yeah, that gets totally under my skin. Oh, and some of the names here I don't really know. And, I mean, I realize that a lot of people that, not everybody, but some that comment don't always comment, so I've had people say like, we're a long time subscriber, and I've never seen their name. They're unknown to me. I don't know who they are. Ah, well, good, man. Well, I'm glad you are here. Small town Bernie. You know what? I think that they're just playing that, Dave. I think that they're playing with that right now. I don't think that they want to give out anything. But to release that 2 years later, when we know within those 2 years that they were trying to, that would have been time to release all that. Not after. I mean, Indiana State Police know better than that. Any law enforcement would. Anybody. So, yeah. Anyway, that little under my skin. Does anybody have any questions? Chat questions that I could touch upon here, because there's 24 people here. Was waiting for a little bit more. Yes, Kelly, I'm doing very well, thank you. Zero. You know what? Right off the bat, Matt. Right off the bat, yeah. But as time went on, I knew that if they worked at Indiana Packers, if they did, they would have been nailed. And I can tell you that for this reason. X amount of people work at Indiana Packers. If the guy was there at work and left, they would know his dress by the cameras there. They would know that dude. The people that work there would know who that guy is. Now, like I said, right off the bat, I kind of suspected, it might be an Indiana Packers worker. But, since then, man, things have changed. A lot has happened. So I can kind of rule that out now. It's not in Indiana, but, well, I can pretty much say this positive. It's not anybody from in and around Delphi. And I ain't just calling the cops out on that. I just know better. I know better. If that person was in and around Delphi, worked there, had lived there, he would have been arrested ages ago. Yeah, I don't know why they would have thought the guy would come back. Look, man, this is a trail, a small trail. You got very few people that actually frequent often that trail. And two of those people seen him. He wasn't going to go back to that trail. He knew that his photo was out in the video, and he knew they had video. He wasn't going to come back, man, and hope that they didn't recognize him. At that point, when he seen his picture was out, he probably shat right in his pants right then. When they put his voice out, probably ran right down his leg. Mm. 32 people, and less than half that gave me a thumbs up. Kill it. Kill the show. Right now. Right now. Come on. Oh, wait. I'll give them their chance. I give you your chance, people. I give it to you. Do not take advantage. Double thumbs. Thank you. Thank you very, very much. Yeah, right. You know what, man? Seriously, and again, man, it would be something to point this out, that while I can tell you my thoughts, now in the past, I've given my thoughts on this. But the one thing I can't do is take YouTube back with me 2 years from then to now, because things change as information comes out. And things that I once kind of believed, I stopped believing. When Kim Riley told me the man had never committed a crime before, that changed what I was doing. It changed right then, over a year ago, where I was looking and why. Because I knew, well, he can't be found here. I have had hundreds, literally hundreds of people reach me with a person of interest. I've had people contact me, say, I know who it is. I know exactly who it is. I need a safe place to talk, man. And, it takes them a couple hours for their paranoid, crazy minds to find a spot where they can then type to me and say, it was a guy that was in my cab. He said Ronald Lee knew Ronald Logan didn't do it. How would he know he didn't unless he did? if I could have reached through my computer at that time, that lady would have been a little messed, because that really hurt, man. There are people out there, man, that have reached me saying that the guy was wearing a 1972 Elvis World Tour shirt, and there was another guy with him that was an Elvis impersonator. And that's why she had her phone out, because he was singing to her. And some of that, I'm like, okay, I mean, do these people think I'm really that messed up? I mean, really? Are they that messed up? Oh, no. But I can tell you, man, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. And you know what? When somebody sends one, I'll go check it. Usually it takes only a couple of minutes for me to say, yeah, they didn't do it. They didn't do it, man. You know what? That's a good question, Thomas. It really is. Because if it is a Carhartt, it does not have that white tag that would indicate Carhartt on it. It looks more of a... I mean, I want to say kind of more like a windbreaker type material, but it's heavy duty. You know, whatever it is, it may be a Carhartt, and we just can't see that tag through the shadow. I don't really know, man. But that is a good question. You know what? That's really good, Mike. I appreciate you saying as much, but I need evidence to that, because you know what? Anybody from Facebook would say that. I'm too respectful to give a middle finger to the camera, and I won't. But if you can back that up with real evidence, I'd be happy to read it. If not, you're wasting your time being here. In fact, that is my suspect, so I don't know why you're here, actually. Yeah, there we go. Look at that solid green screen in the back, people. Yeah, I'm making waves. Yes, I have in the past. And you know what? I get a lot of people that reach me and say, you know, well, you close your mind. You don't have an open mind. And everybody who knows investigation knows you've got to keep it. But they only say that when I don't agree with their person of interest. So, you know, that's usually where that goes. It's like they gave me something and I didn't hop on board with it. So who thinks he's God? Me? I'm far from God. More of a Messiah. Yeah, Messiah. Thank you. Call me Messiah, Katt. I like that name. God's song. So, any questions? Any out there? Yeah, yes, it really is. You know what? That's a good question. But see, I already asked you that, Mike. I already asked you that. Now, if you can't back up what you say with fact, then you need to hit the road, pal. All right. Let me help you. Allow me to help you out here. There you go. Peace, Mike. No, it's just a matter of this. Hey, a person can come on here and say anything. It's not the person that you say it is. Great. Glad you said that. Glad you said that. Where's your proof? What are you looking at? How can you say that? They can't. They just come on here to blast what I'm saying and then try to be a butthead about it. Not while I'm doing live. Oh God, no. No, hell no. No. You need to have a nice day with that. This is my show. You want a show? Buy a fucking camera. Set up a video. You know what? Everybody's on. Well, hey, what are you doing? Okay, you know his name and I can't say it. GT or GK. Everybody's talking about him being a person of interest. No, man. But I can tell you that for this reason. Look, he was put in Carroll County Jail on April the 5th. April the 5th. Now, he's in there on a Carroll County crime. Okay? They could go in there and talk to him concerning the Delphi murders. Nothing could really stop them. What, Manahan ain't going to stop him from doing that. So, if they had him in there and they felt he had anything to do with it, they would have spoke with him long before the briefing. But to come out at the briefing and then say, well, he did mention that and the girl was hurt in a shack. And I'm like, no, please. Look, man, some people need to grow up. Some people need to grow up and join the real world, man. It's not television. This is not how they do it in real life. If they had that guy in there and they felt he had anything to do with it, they wouldn't be relaying tips to us about it. They'd be confronting him and then tell us they're filing charges. No. You know what? I don't know when he goes to court down there in St. Louis. I have no idea. They have not scheduled it yet. Now, if you look at any murder case, they usually end within a year of the time of the person's arrest. You know, usually within a year. I don't think that. Did OJ go over a year? But it should be wrapped up within a year come November. So I am hoping that it will transpire in 2019 still. And, you know, we will hear the charges filed. That's my hope. Yeah, they do. They really do. So does Delphi. Everybody looking into this case knows how sad it is. And I want the same for those girls. And there is no justice. There is no justice that can be given those girls now. Those days are over. But the least that we can do is hold the person to account. He 2 weeks on the family out of it. In other words, the press not contacting and harassing the family for 2 weeks' time to let him digest it. It wasn't really about 2 weeks, and then we're going to have one where we'll answer questions. I don't think that they want to answer questions on that. There's very little that they could say in respect to what it was that they brought up at the briefing. Well, why did you release the video? Well, we thought after 2 years we should. You know, there's nothing really to go on. They can't say who provided the details for the sketch. We know who, same as on the old one. You know, there's just very little that they can say on it. No, if you watch that briefing, you can go to YouTube and put in Delphi. Put in Delphi briefing. When you do that, my video pops up #1. My Delphi briefing video, the live show afterwards, pops up #1 if you put in Delphi briefing. I thought that was odd, man. I thought that the Delphi briefing video would come up first. No. That time, YouTube looked fondly upon me. They held me. They loved me. But they put up the live show, which really hurts. I hate live shows. You know, of all my videos, man, I never go back and watch a live show like ever. You know, I will go back on my regular videos to see the points that I covered in a video. But it's like the live shows, man. It's not scripted. It's just me sitting here talking. You know? All right, did anybody send their number in? Did anybody send their name and number in to my email address? Yay or nay, you know, would help. There it is. Bam. Send your name and your number to that email address, and I will call you. Ready to go. I'm going to check it right now. I'm checking it right now. Man, calm down out there. Oh, shit. Man, what the hell? Why do I got to do this, man? Right? Yes. Okay. Looking for names. No names. No. Nobody wants to be on the show. Nobody cares that much, I guess. Oh, hey, how you doing? So, question. Anybody, if you got a question, throw it up there. Usually I like to call people, go, hey, man, I want to know when you're going live, man. I want you to call. Right. I'm doing live, man. Here, call. No. And then everybody was like, dude, I didn't know you was live. It's like, I put it up 2 hours in advance. If you don't know I'm live, yeah, right, exactly. You know what? I was just talking about that. The 2 weeks, if you listen to the Delphi briefing, they said give the family 2 weeks before contacting or harassing them. They was talking to the media. But they wasn't talking about having a secondary briefing in 2 weeks for the media to ask questions. It was about the family, leaving the family alone. What accent do you have, Pip? Yeah, like, where are you from that I wouldn't understand the accent? Oh, thank you, Leslie. Thank you very much. If you do have a question, you can throw it up, though. I will answer it. See, and again, they wasn't talking about 2 weeks later they would have another press conference, for the media to ask questions. They said for at least 2 weeks, leave the family alone, don't harass them, leave them out of it. That was the 2 weeks. That's the 2 weeks they was talking about. Also, when they mentioned the car being there on the 14th, that was the 13th, because I thought, why would they mention a car that was on the 14th when everybody was there? Everybody was there, on the 14th. So, no, they had resaid that after the fact. No, it was the 13th that car was there. But we know this from that car got there at approximately 12 noon. Now, I knew it was pre 1:45, but I didn't know if that went in the morning. I didn't know how long he had been there. But if he got there from 12 and they said to 5, no better than that. I don't think he was there. I think that when he got back to his vehicle at approximately 3, a little after, he was gone. Did not wait around. Yes, it is. Monon Bridge is a dead end. You see that trail goes like this. It's called trails, like Monon High Bridge. Well, it's actually Monon High Bridge Trail. But the trail comes in from Freedom Bridge and it follows down like this. Now, when it hits that secondary entrance, it splits into 2 trails, but those trails are only like here to there apart. One is the 501 and the other is the 505. And they run parallel to each other and then rejoin up here. The one's just down lower where you're looking at the creek, wherein the 501 is a straight shot to the bridge. But there isn't really trails. There's only those 2. And like I said, one is right next to the other. Now, if he was down on the 505, then he could see where the people came in from Freedom Bridge or from the secondary entrance heading to the bridge. That's where I believe that he was. Oh. Yeah, man, well, if you're from the UK and I can't make it out, oh, look, if I'm watching a movie, it's British comedy. There it is. Now you know. I'm quite familiar, man. I mean, like Beatles' favorite band. Yeah. Yeah, I got the red badge of courage tattooed on me. You see where I'm at? I know what's up. You know what? I don't think that he was. Now I'm talking about Gray. I don't think that he was that big on it off the go. He was looking at it, and I knew, and he had told me on a thing that he was looking at him, and I thought that it was a race in a way, but I didn't know. I don't look. I'm just honest enough. That's what I'm doing. I don't know anybody out here. I've never seen anybody online, anything like that, that is holding the facts of this case that I am looking at. I don't think that people do. I think that people will look at a name and say it looks like the sketch, and well, and he did commit, and there that is, but it don't really work like that. Well, Gray can be freaking rude if he wants to be. It's his show. He's got a right to be whoever he wants on it. Same as me. Somebody comes on here and I feel that they are being rude, I get blunt. I get very almost evil about it because it's my show. You are disrupting my time. If somebody's here to watch my show, thank you. Thank you very much. But if you're here to disrupt my show, you're going to find your butt hitting the door quickly. Kimmy, I thought you was here ages ago. No, you know what? I do have something on that. Now, in that secondary audio piece that they gave us, okay, he said, hold on, got a piece of dandruff or something in mine. He said, guys, down the hill. Now, he said, guys, and you hear a bunch of static, okay? I believe that static was Libby sticking that phone in her top or in a pocket when he then said down the hill, okay? I think that is what that is. But to say that a person, a grown man, is going to walk up to two girls that age and call them guys, not even in casual would I walk up to two girls and call them guys, unless there had been previous words between them. And I say that for this reason. I walked in where the girls were dropped off. Okay, at the exact spot, because I was timing how long it took me from the time that they got there to get to the spot where Libby took Abby's picture. They got there at 2:17. Now, I started my hike at a very slow, casual pace. Okay, I was actually probably going a little bit slower than what two girls would walk, and I walked it from there to there. Now, I stopped right there before going onto Monon High Bridge for a second because Libby took a picture. So I waited a minute, not a full minute, just a little bit, and then got on and started crossing. Now, when I got there and I turned around to take that picture, I got there 8 minutes than they did. 8 minutes faster. That means that there is every bit, if not a little bit more, than 8 minutes time lost. Okay, now they could have been taking pictures. I don't know. There could be any number of things that they was doing in hiking there that I don't know. But it could also suggest that somebody had been speaking to them, that somebody may have stopped them and said some things and that was speaking to them for a while. And if that was the case, and when he was coming across the bridge, I mean, she was already on alert that, hey, this guy may be up to no good. Now, she wouldn't really know that unless the guy had foretold. You see where I'm at? Unless he had said something very, creepy and weird, then they probably wouldn't have thought much about it. But when he's crossing that bridge over toward them, she knew that this may be a threat and put that phone on video record. And then his first words, I do believe to them, was, guys, down the hill. Because there very well may have been some spoken words between them prior to them reaching that bridge. No, I don't feel that he knew him from any time before at all. The first people that was looked into by the FBI, who was there for well over the first month, was friends and family. Anybody that would have seen anything that they had posted online, their IP address would have been had, and they would have been the first people looked into right away. At that time, they was holding the photos, the video, and the audio of the man. The guy went, that he didn't know him. If he knew him, he would have been arrested ages ago. If it was family, they would have been hit right away. If the guy was in and around Delphi, he would have been arrested within no time. I gave my reasons for it, and I stand on them. I stand on them. Yeah, that's right. Because if I'm talking to people, I don't know their sex. Hey, guys, what's up? If I'm talking to two young girls, I don't say, hey, guys. There's a difference between being online, talking to the masses, and talking directly to two young girls. It's a point I make. I'm not saying it went down because they had spoken, but what I am saying is it more relates to having words. So does the 8-minute pause on their time. No, but the cops don't need to release anything else. What else could the cops release? There's nothing that they can release. Okay, but we've heard the guy speak. What more do you want? Him to say his name? We don't want to hear anything aggressive, which it probably all was thereafter. After down that hill, you probably don't want to hear the rest. Neither do I. It don't help us find that guy. It don't. Suspicious minds want to know. But it don't bother me that I can't hear the rest. I've heard the guy speak. I know what his voice sounds like. But why would they release it? It will not help you, anybody, find that killer, because they go, oh, well, when he said down the hill, it didn't sound like it does when it's still the same voice. There is nothing that they need to release. You know what? The biggest, and I think you've got much, Donna, because I was going to touch upon this exactly, Dana. Well, I was going to touch upon this earlier. When I started looking into my suspect, everything that I found, everything. Look, man, he was dressed a Lightbridge guy when committing the St. Louis sexual assault and homicide. He looks like the first sketch, exactly like the first sketch in the face. Exactly. He had reddish brown hair. He is Scottish. He had filed bankruptcy the month before and had just quit his job. And we knew right away that the guy either probably did not work days at that time because he was there at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, well, from 12 to 3. So everything that I found was narrowing it down to a point where I'm like, you know what? I mean, I started getting to a point where I think, okay, I believe now that I may be looking at this guy. This guy very well may be the suspect in Delphi. It didn't hit me because I made that video. And it's back in my videos. I don't know which video it is, but I told you all. I said, look, man, I can't place him in Delphi. Now, if he had family up here in Upper Indiana or Michigan, then maybe then. But when I found that he had a brother living in Fort Wayne, Indiana, and I found that right on his friends list on Facebook, I said, yeah, that's his brother, no doubt about it, living in Fort Wayne. Well, what should I do? I better use his address, of my suspect for Google directions to Fort Wayne. Bam, to I-70 in the Hoosier Heartland. That goes right by Monon High Bridge Trail. Like you're going down 25, pull off, leave, like that. That was the capper. That's when I said, I got him. I got him nailed. This is our man right here. I can show absolute fact that he was having the financial difficulties. He had just quit his job. He was en route to his brother's house, and it all fit thereafter. But I really had my suspicions very heavy prior to that. But when I found that, I said, yeah, this is the direction that he always went to his brother's house. That's why he always stopped at Monon High Bridge Trail. That's why he knew the trails as well as he did. Because he'd been there. He'd hiked many times at him. And because of the reverse date of Evansdale, he knew what he was there to do that day. That's why he was waiting. That's exactly why. I said that since day one, BG. I know full well they got DNA. Now, if your next question is, well, you say they got DNA, but they hadn't filed charges. And I explained that. I explained that in multiple videos as to why. They can't speak with him. They can't go down there and talk to him. He's in another state facing first-degree murder, okay, with life without parole. They cannot go down. The FBI cannot walk in there right now and talk to him. They can't. And without talking to him, they will not file charges. Whether he confesses or not, woo-whoop-de-woo, they're still going to file charges, but we got to know what you got to say. How are you answering to this? Can you tell us anything more? It is it's another state and jurisdiction. His public defender will stop him at the door, same as they did with the guy out in Colorado, if anybody remembers that. So, yeah, they got his DNA. Yeah, it's a match. Yeah, they know he's down there. And yeah, they know they can't file charges till they speak with him, and that can't be done now. What do? You play dumb. You play like you don't know anything. You hand out some false information so that when people call it in, you can just say, yeah, thank you very much. We'll look right into that. But you don't have to. You got 46,000 cases you got to look into because people phoned it in, but you know the guy's down there. And you can't say nothing. What do? You play dumb like the press conference. It's exactly how I called it. And I stand on it. And they do. And that is the law. And it's the law for a reason. Look, if we're down there muddying up their case, and he needs justice on that case down there, to go in and do that, that guy should be looking at death down there. He better be looking at death in Indiana. Now, in Iowa, I know that they don't have the death penalty there. But the citizens of Evansdale said, we want the death penalty for him. They're not talking about my suspect. They're talking about that suspect. Same as the ones where people are talking about the Delphi suspect. And it all runs the same. Somebody's got to go after death. Now, is it Carroll County's case? I mean, will the state of Indiana be prosecuting him? Or is it federal? I mean, because when that DNA matched to here to there, in other cases, we don't know it isn't federal. We don't know who exactly is going to go speak to him. But they're going to. They're going to go talk to him. And when they do, they will press charges thereafter. You got my word on it. And my word is a very good word. It's a very correct word. I don't know what that is. Yeah, they did. And they got him. And if they dealt with that sketch, ain't our dude. They handed out information like, we believe he's from Delphi, around Delphi, works in Delphi. He's 18 to 40. Man, you know what? Probably a bunch of clues came in from that. Like, yeah, I always suspected this dude. Same way I got turned in. Somebody on Facebook didn't like a video I made. I'm phoning him in. You know what? If I had my hands on that douchebag, I'd get assault charges in no uncertain terms. Hell, I might go to prison for that. Might do a couple of years. No, it ain't. It isn't. It isn't. If they hand out false information and people call in on that where they can disregard it, then they don't have to investigate it. This is the point I make. That is the point I'm making. They ended that. They ended the phone in. Yeah, I know. And that's probably another reason they wanted all those tips. Yeah, they bust a lot of people, man. A lot of people. So yeah, a lot of people are getting busted because of this. Yeah, man, the only people who's living that, man, that's like law enforcement. Well, gee, Hillary, why can't they arrest him when he's already in jail? He's already arrested. He's already in jail. You can't arrest somebody when they're in jail. That's just some common sense stuff there, man. Come on. Yeah, I do too. I don't think that. I mean, if I'm putting my suspicions in, no, they would not. No, they would not. No, 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 they would not. If they can't file charges on him, they will not say it's a match. And oh, we will one day when we can speak to him. They're not going to tell you that. They're going to wait till the day they can go in, talk to him, file the charges, and say, we got him. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. They don't come out and say, well, DNA match, we got him. Yeah. They won't, but they will. You don't believe it? Wait. You'll see it happen. Exactly as I say. Well, you know what? The difference between state and Fed, because it depends. The state and the Fed can prosecute at the same time. And the federal government will have zero issue for going after death. Zero. In a case that deserves death, they'll be the first one to go, oh, and we are seeking the death penalty. Mm-hmm. And when the federal government gets it, you die quickly. You don't wait in jail like 20, 30 years waiting on appeals and stuff. They're like, yeah, no, pull the trigger. Exactly. He is in there facing first-degree murder, life without parole. You don't mess with a case like that. You don't. You don't muddy it up. You wait. You wait until a verdict is reached in that case, less than a year. You go down, talk to him, and pull him back to Indiana. Bam. Just like that. They don't do it different than that. If you think they have a match and they come out and go, yeah, it's a match, now we're just going to file charges. They don't. If you think that that is the way it works, let me see. No? Not totally. Not totally. I mean, I can give the John D. Miller case where they had the DNA that popped up, but he was not in jail. They went to his house and arrested him. But that is the only other case that I could think of that matches like that. If they have a match and that guy is sitting in a different state on murder charges, they're not going to talk to him until that case is complete. That is law. If you don't like the law, change the law. But don't argue the law with me, because there's much of the law I don't like at all. I don't like anything that isn't common law. Well, that's very true. But the case he's down there on is very heinous. That's evil, demonic, satanic. So they are down there. And that's what Kim Riley said. Look, he's down there facing that. And, you know, and I'm like, yeah, I get it. But Kim Riley also said in that interview, that quick interview I did with him, because I says, well, is that a reason why it might be a time until he can be spoken with? And he said, you know, if you're looking for something, that might be it. That might be the reason right there, is what he's letting me know. They will. Yeah, if he's convicted, it don't matter what he gets down there. If he's turned loose down there, say he beats that charge, not a problem for Indiana. We say, hold him, because now we're extraditing. You know, he's already being held. Once that court completes, they can go straight down there to that jail and talk to him. Now, once that they have him and are filing murder charges, then they can extradite him straight back here, because from there, he's going to prison. In fact, he would probably get his prison number down there and then be brought straight back to Indiana. He's not beating any charge. He's going to go to court on everything he's did. Everything. Yeah, he pled not guilty. What does that matter, man? I don't know of a person that ever had a murder charge placed on him that pled guilty. Who does that? He's facing life without parole. Yeah, he's 53. I mean, he's never going to get out. He knows that. He knows he's never going to get out. But for the love of God, he's going to try to beat that. Yeah. Hey, don't expect a whole lot of a web sleuth. Yeah, but that changed for him at the end, because at the end he was trying to get those other ones looked into, because he didn't want to die. Now, at first he didn't, but then he did. Then he was trying to, like, look, man, I got more information. I mean, he was saying that heading to the electric chair. Look, man, look, there is more. There is. I got to tell you, man. Too late, Ted. Have a seat. Have a seat, buddy. You won't be sitting long. Don't worry. You know what? There is a little something that I wanted to discuss briefly. I hope nobody minds. The father that raised me, and he died in 1985. Today, he would be 100 years old. He would turn 100 today. Yeah. You know what? I think that the only place that he could really get that now is Indiana, unless the federal government picks it up. Now, the federal government, like I had said in that last video, the federal government and states can both prosecute. So it really comes down to, if one of them's going to nail him for the death sentence, then, if it's the government, it's going to be quick, which I would like. I don't want to think about that dude sitting in jail for 20 years and dying in, old age. I want him to face what's coming, man. I want him to face the reality. Thank you. Thank you very much. If he was alive, because mind you, see, he was born in 1919, and he was a lifelong Democrat, but he was a lifelong Democrat because back when he seen that the Democrats worked for the people. Now, if he was alive today and he was 100, he would have became a Republican probably about right at. You know what? In fact, I think that he would have been one that would have voted Republican there after Reagan. Because, Carter, if anybody remembers Jimmy Carter, my God, he's like a human orifice. That Jimmy Carter. He hurts, man. I'm sure he's up there. I often think about how he would feel about things right now. He was my father. He's the guy you look up to when you're growing up. And much like him, until after Carter, because in 1980, I didn't consider myself Republican then or now. I still don't think I'm Republican, but my grandfather was different. He would have went party. But no, I'm talking about Jimmy Carter, ex-president. But I know that after Reagan's first term in 1984, that was the first time I voted. I voted for Reagan over Mondale in 1984. You know what? I lost both of it was my grandparents that raised me. And I lost both of them. And my real mom, going back, that was, God, man, 19 years ago. My real dad is still alive, though. He's doing good, though. My mom, she was in perfect health. She was 52. 52 years old, and her pancreas, just a part where it was a split, and she bled internally. She hurt, and she was en route to the hospital, and when they got there, by the time she got to the hospital, man, she was dead. And my brother came over. He's my half brother. My mom isn't his mom. He has a different mom. He came over to let me know it was 4 o'clock in the morning. And it really took me back, because I didn't believe that he was, not that he was lying, but I couldn't comprehend that. Right. And again, this is what I'm talking about, Sabrina. This is what I've been saying. And this is my reason for hating live shows, because I have to repeat myself solidly through every live show. because when somebody shows up, they ask a question that I've answered many times. So the reason is this. I repeat, I don't even know how many times now. I forget. I know that I answer this question in every video, every so many minutes. It works like this. You got the suspect in jail in St. Louis. Now down there, he is facing first-degree murder charges and life without parole for what he did. We're in the state of Indiana. Indiana cannot go down there and talk to him until that court completes. Until it does, nobody can go in there and talk to him and ask him one question. Not the FBI, not the state of Indiana. I think Jesus would have a hard time getting in there to talk to the man. I'm sorry, man. I just get a little bitter, and I apologize to you. I don't mean to talk like that to you. So they can't go down and talk to him, and until they can go talk to him, they cannot file murder charges. They will not. What are they doing? What are they doing over here at the briefing? What was that all about? It was about playing dumb. It was about playing ignorant and giving old information, things that didn't matter, because when people call up on it, they can say, yes, thank you. That's very good information. We'll investigate it. But now they won't, because it was crap. They know who did it. They got the DNA match. They know where he's at. They know he can't do anything more. Best thing to do is shut up. Shut up and don't say anything. Nothing. Until which time you can go down and talk to him and then file charges. And until that time, nobody's going to know. No one's going to know. I'm telling you. I'm letting you know. You don't have to take my word for it, though. I mean, that is it's a choice in America. You can take my word for it, or you can be like, wow, this guy's really ate up, man. He's probably on that same level with Gray. Stuff of that nature. No, I really don't, Neil. I think it works like this, because when they go down and talk to him, they know that he's going to probably be facing life without parole. You know, that he will never get out. Now, with that in mind, that he's never going to get out of prison, what do you have left? It's like Charles Manson. Well, the bigger the case that you can make, the more you've done, the more that you can be accounted for, then the bigger your fame. You know, the more people that's going to know your name, the bigger, then people can get money for interviews, just like Charles Manson. I forget. Does anybody know how many millions Charles Manson had when he died? Millions and millions. Millions. So I think when they go down there to talk to him, I think they fully expect him to answer up to it, because they do have all the match. They can go in and say, look, man, we got everything. We got your voice. We got your photo. We got your video. We got your DNA. You know full well you left fingerprints. We got two people that can identify you. It's not like we're not sitting here without a crime. You can admit to it, or we can go for death. Tomato, tomato, however you want to play it. Oh, no. I'll talk, man. Yeah, you know what? If I had a daughter, she'd be Annie Oakley. She would. I'd have her out there in the yard at 5 years old. She'd know how to shoot. Every American should have a rifle and a handgun. Your children should not be unprotected, even if alone. Remember that. You betcha. I'm a diehard American. I'm Second Amendment. I'm freedom. I'm 98% of these laws are hogwash. If it's a victimless crime, you know what? You're after the wrong sovereign. You're after the wrong man. You need to go on about your day. Age 3, really? That's, you know what? I was 5 years old when my grandpa took me out with the 22 and taught me how to shoot. 3, that's, you know what? It kind of works like this. There will never be a day when she grows up when she does not remember when she could not shoot. You know, that is so respectful in a way. Supervision, though, I just want to point that out. Supervision with the 3-year-old. Don't just hand him a handgun. Oh, you know, that was another kicker on my suspect. is because, I mean, like right off the go, once we got the picture of the suspect there in Delphi, my first thought was, okay, older man, two girls on the trail. They could have ran, they could have yelled, they could have screamed, they could have did something, but they didn't. And it told me the guy probably had a handgun, and that was why when he said things, they were under duress. Now, when I seen in the bankruptcy that my suspect had 3 handguns, permit to carry, it was another point of interest. There is no points that overlook my suspect, not one that I have found. Now, the video isn't clear enough where I can say, yes, that's him. But it differs completely from DN, because DN, I wasn't on that side. I told Greeno that. I'm like, yeah, but when I'm looking at Bridge Guy, I do not see him. I mean, in the sketch, yeah, but not the Bridge Guy photos. It just doesn't look like him. Now, my guy, I can't say that. But again, in just the same way, I can't, I can say my guy has the same body frame. Okay? I can say with a hat on, very pixelated, maybe it's him. But there is no way I can look at that guy's face and say, yeah, that's him, all right, because it's too pixelated. You can't discern anything on the guy's face. Yeah, well, I can't do it. If that is what you're asking, if you think that I memorized that, no, I really didn't. I can put it to you like this. It's a different case in a different state. Now, he's down there on murder charges. Okay, he is facing some like life without parole. So for us to go down there and intervene into that, to talk about him, talk to him on a separate case from a separate state, the public defender won't have it. Now, DN, when he was in Colorado, said he wanted to talk to him. He said that his public defender stopped him at the door. He didn't even get to see him. Now, the same applies down there because they don't want to muddy that case. Rightfully. I don't want that case muddied. We don't want our case here in Delphi muddied. But the legal reason is they don't want us down there messing with that case and his rights in that case. And we don't want them up here messing with our case under our jurisdiction and rights. And that is why it breaks down like that. That's why states and the government don't talk to you while you're in a case like that. Now, it might differ if it was a lower level case. But even that, I mean, I don't even know if it was a felony, the one that he was being held on in Colorado. His public defender stopped him. Nope, not doing it. Not even doing it. Now, on a case at the level that he's on down in St. Louis, yeah. If we've been called, they'd go, yeah, don't waste your time. Don't worry. We'll make sure you can talk to him as soon as it's over. You have my word. But yeah, I don't know the exact legal per se. I don't know, I ain't looking into that. Mine was law enforcement, not being a lawyer. Rightfully. I would never praise the Queen. Man, the Bar Association, man, that's British, man. They got Pledge of Allegiance and stuff. What? In America? What kind of treasonous crap is that? And then you're going to defend me? An American crime? No. 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 It's like them saying you need a licensed attorney. Okay. I'll go up to any attorney and say, hey, can I see your license? We don't have a license. You don't? Then why did the court tell me I needed a licensed attorney? No, what they mean is you need an attorney that has sworn his allegiance to the Queen. He's a British esquire. That's what the bar means. You could go all the way through legal school, and you know what? If you ain't a member of the bar, you ain't practicing law, because you've got to swear that allegiance to the Queen or you're not licensed. You got to swear allegiance to the Queen to be an American attorney. I want somebody to explain that crap to me. Yeah. Well, it's different. I mean, you got to understand. I mean, understand. Man, you guys live over there. You guys are under royalty. You guys have all that, right? No, not over here. We was based on freedom. Ours was to get away from the king. Taxes, laws. It all came back. It all came right back. Today they're like, we need socialism. We don't need guns. We need illegal immigrants. No, you need a noose. That's what you need. Not you. I'm talking about the idiots in America saying that. Yeah, you bet. Yeah, it's called I'm a human, and I have a God-given right to protect myself. If you don't like it, try it. Try it. If you come at me with intent to do bodily harm, I will shoot your ass. Exactly. Yeah, people blame it on the gun. It ain't the gun. It's the person holding the gun. A gun is a tool, much like a shovel. It's only bad in the wrong person's hands. And that is very true. Otherwise, the military would be bad. Yeah, bodyguards would be bad. Cops would be bad. Everybody with a gun would be bad. No, it's just the media and the Democrats painting that picture. So everybody says, I'm turning my head. I want to be a communist. Help me. Babies, don't confront me. I can do more with one fist than you can in your lifetime, babies. So, if you went and opened his gun case and wasn't supposed to, I hope your dad had a belt he went across your backside with. Yeah. 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 Kids can get to the guns. I mean, you have them there all like loaded up, waiting for a kid to get his hands on. If you do, you're doing it wrong. Anything back on the crime. I probably lost my full people watching here. 56. My God, yeah, everybody's leaving. You know why? Because I had to get on other stuff. This is the reason I don't like live shows. This is it. This is my reason. Because I go from here to there and topic to topic and so forth and so on. Let's see. Yeah, nobody sent a number, and I'm killing that page. All right, I'm calling no one, and it has been 1 hour. Probably here in a minute. I'm going to start buffering and the like. I appreciate everybody viewing this video. And remember, everybody, I'm typing this in. That way nobody can forget. My live shows from this day forth, from here on, every single week will be, hold on, I must type this. I want it in capital. That way people can read it. There we go. There you go. Tuesday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern time. I'll be right here. And I'll be live, talking to you, wanting to know what you have to say. Here to answer your questions. Yeah. Pass it around. Make sure that everybody knows. Because the one thing that I get in... the one thing I get when I do a show is that people show up and go, I missed it. I had no idea. I had no idea. Well, now it's scheduled. So if anybody misses it, you couldn't get here on time. Not my fault. But I did put it out today. I put it on Facebook, Reddit, Twitter, woo-whoop-de-woo. Try to get people out there. I said share, and everybody's like, yeah, and liked on it, but nobody shared. And I'm like, I got 120 names I tag, and nobody on there even shares. Like 120 people don't even show up. Yeah, I know. It is. And if you think that's bad, you ought to see what it is in Australia. So it's kind of hard to come up with a time. I thought 9 p.m. on a Tuesday, there you go. But that's really about the best I can do. No, I don't. No, I don't, Peter. I say that because at the briefing, they said that the family was shown that video that morning. Everybody assumed that they had seen that right off the go. The family's not told anything. Nothing. Nada. because, you know, everybody on Facebook is like, you know, a family member told me. Like, I'm supposed to believe that the family knows something. The family don't. And if you're telling me that the family told you, that's why the cops wouldn't tell the family to begin with, because they don't know that the family won't go out and tell people. It's a different world now. I mean, all you got to do is tell somebody and they run to Facebook and the whole world knows. So they're not telling the family anything. The family knows what we know. In fact, it would be my hope, because I know that going back, a couple of the family members did watch my channel. But I am pretty positive that at least 2 or 3 of them know what I know from me saying what I know. And I'm pretty sure that one of them is pretty confident in what I've said. I think that they are fully on board with it, to a degree of, yeah, I think you got that, dude, man. I really do. Now, I can't speak for all of them, and I have never spoken to that person, but I do know how they relate to this. And I do know that when I was doing the videos on DEN, they went down there as soon as they brought him back to Johnson County to go to court. She was there. She went to court to see that guy. So, and she had also commented on a couple of my older videos. So I think that she may be in line with where I am, but I don't know that. Yeah, you know what? Thank you, Kimmy. You know what? I got a guy that moved in down here where a friend of mine lived, and he had his kids out going back about 3 weeks ago, little kids, and had him out there showing them how to shoot a BB rifle. Man, I went down and paid him some respect for that. I'm like, dude, right on, right on. That's everything that kid needed right there. You know what? As a side note, because I'm Indian anyway, my grandpa took me out when I was 5. I didn't just turn 5 because I think it was the spring, so I was probably about 5.5, somewhere right in there. And took me out. We lived out at a small lake, north central Indiana, and we went out to Country Road, man, right there where a little creek goes under the Country Road, and it's got like a little bridge over it. We went out there, showed me how to load and shoot a 22, and we'd go out there every weekend so that we could shoot, so I could get the aim down. That following Christmas, I got a Daisy BB gun. The year after that, I got the 720 Power Master. And then after that, I just started collecting rifles. You know, now, the underlying to that is this. I can grab a rifle, even if I had never really fired it before. I can fire it about 3 times, see where it's sitting, and pretty much know where I can aim. If I have a rifle that I go out and shoot daily, there's no end to where I can, you know, at distance. I have remarkable aim. I was the only man in my company in basic training that qualified expert on both days of qualification. I was that dude in my whole company. No one else. You know, when you teach a kid how to shoot and aim a rifle when they're little, it's ingrained. It's there. It's there for life. They will always know that. They will be very comfortable with the rifle. And it's point of fact. I know people that, I got a friend who lives in Kokomo, computer guy, total computer guy. Anything computer, this guy's fully the know one. That's been his life, his whole life. And one day, man, for whatever reason, and I only knew him for 20 years sitting in front of his computer. That was it. He just stopped, man. He really wanted nothing more to do with computers. So he went to work at Chrysler rather than started buying rifles, and he goes to the range, this and that. Well, he wanted to bring him out, and I'm like, dude, bring him out. You know, bring out everything you got, man. He had AR-15, he had the pump, the pistols, the awesome collection of guns. He brought him out full ammo. Now, I'm not saying he's a bad shot or anything like that, but I mean, he's had these rifles for years, and God, I just got a 22 that I use, you know, that I carry around with me. He was very impressed with my shooting. You know, he's like, wow, how do you know? And I'm like, it's just aiming. And it makes me think, it's like, how's come a person, you know, when they pick up rifles later in life, And it seems like it would just be no different than a video game. You know, it seems like once you got that down, that there it would be, but it isn't. It isn't. I don't know. I can't explain it. But I'll tell you this, man. If you got a kid, take him out supervised with a BB gun. Show him how to shoot. To get him a 22. Yeah. So, anyway, yeah, I'm just talking now. I'm just kind of wrapping up the show. It's 4:10, and I do appreciate everybody being here. Now, look, 9 o'clock, Tuesday, Eastern time. Be here with me. I don't want it bad for a show when it's scheduled. I mean, man, let's say like 100 people showed up. Yeah, you know what? Me and Wolf would party, man. We would. We'd have a good time about it. But nice seeing you, Daniel. Hope to see you Tuesday. So anyway, I hope to see you guys Tuesday, man. Peace, y'all.